The summer can be a crazy time for a lot of our high school and junior high students. If you could think back to your experiences, summer is a time to be productive, and it can also be a time to be destructive. Listen in today as we talk about the ways that we're serving our students over the summer and providing constructive, important ways for them to develop themselves over the summer. Stay tuned. What's up,
What's up,
everybody?
man?
Welcome back to Urban Youth Excel with Anthony, Dowie, and now Crystal. This show, we're going to spend some time talking about the work we've been doing with students over the summer. As I said in the intro, real briefly, I think we could all agree that summer can be either a time to make some bad decisions or make some good decisions. And we want to talk this episode about the ways that we're trying to facilitate good decisions amongst our students. So, yeah, we're in summer and graduations just
Hey.
passed. And here at UIE, we I know, thank you, Lord. Graduations just passed. Saw many dozens and dozens of the students we've been working with walk across that stage, receive their diploma. And I think we'll begin today's episode by briefly highlighting what it was like to see some of those students through. For some of us, from freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, other students we met senior year, and all across the board. So, team, how are y'all feeling about getting some students across the stage and into the summer?
Ooh, cross the stage, cross the stage. Yeah, I was hyped about it. With having so many graduations and at different locations, and being able to see students like we had one of our students. He he came up to me and we were talking, and he was like, "Yo, I almost didn't make it here. I almost didn't make it here," and he's like, "But I am now." And to be able to have that moment, that experience, that time with that student, to be able to be like, yo, you made it. All of that time we talked about throughout those years, and this last year of, oh man, I got to make sure I got to take all of these classes and get all of my credits in, and to be able to finally make it across that stage and see that and be able to take that breath with them. It was awesome to be able to do that with multiple students.
Great. Crystal, I know you got hired on at the end of May, but you have a sweet, beautiful daughter you've been raising and loving and caring for that you got to see walk across that stage. Shout out to you. How was that? How are you feeling about seeing your daughter through this huge accomplishment and into the summer?
Well, without making this a therapy session, I won't get because I mean, that's my baby.
Yeah.
She has like, yeah, has gone through so much, so many things, and overcome came so many different things, and so to see her push through and to do it well, graduate cum laude, like it's just,
What?
I
Woo.
know, I know.
Where's
So
she going to college at?
she's going to Howard, so
Ooh.
getting her prepared for DC. Yeah,
There
so
you go.
it's been beautiful, but yeah, my mom heart is like, it's broken, but it's also
Yeah.
great. It's great. It's great.
Great. I know one student I'm thinking of in particular, given that our work mentors students emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all across the school year, into the summer, after school, before school, is a student named Brian that we've gotten to know really well. He's served with us at various events that we've hosted. He's spoken to numerous donors, maybe some of you who are listening, and his journey has been nothing short of difficult. Issues with his father, who hasn't always been the best presence for him. Played sports, in and out of sports, getting in trouble. I think one reason why he stands out to me is during his senior year, he got into some really big issues with his mom at home, where some of us had to come by, take him out, get him some food, get him to cool down. And we saw as towards the end of the year, it felt like all the forces were lined up against him to get him off track. We were able to love on him, care for him. He had a few other folks that really loved him well, We were able to see him through. He graduated. Now he's able to begin some summer courses at a local community college over the summer. And I'm meeting up with him again this week for some dinner. So it's a joy, and it's difficult, and it's
Mm.
tearful, and it's everything you could imagine, seeing some of our students walk across that stage and enter into post-secondary education. And we're going to be talking about what it looks like to be a man of God now, not just a student of God, but you growing up, you got to take up some more responsibilities. So there's endless stories we could talk about with graduation. Going into the summer, one of the big events for us as Urban Youth Excel is we like to carry that momentum on high school campuses and mobilize it for out of city events, oftentimes camps. The church I currently attend has a high school ministry, and we were able to get 7 or 8 of our UYE students to a high school camp with the church that I attend at Biola University in California. So it was sweet. We were able to take half of them were seniors. So this is even more pivotal for our students. They just get done with high school, and now they have the whole world ahead of them. So they need more wisdom, more knowledge, more discernment than ever before. So we got to take 7 or 8 students, and I think one thing that really stood out to me is during our camp, there's a night where all the students are able to walk up to their leaders. A few of them came up to me and asked for prayer, asked for guidance, and I had one of the students really just tell me they don't feel like they're enough. They don't feel like they can accomplish all the things that they've got signed up. This student is getting ready to go to ASU. This student has a scholarship, has everything laid out before him, and yet they just felt like, hey, I'm not enough. I don't know. This is too much pressure for me. So I was able to pray with him. Got his number. I've always had his number. We're going to meet up regularly. And I think just sort of reinforces the importance of the work that we do, is that even with students who make the right choices, who take the right steps, there's still a fear of falling, of failing, the pressure of doing everything that they know they should be doing. So that's one student that I'll be keeping up with all across the summer. Anthony, you serve with a different church, and you're able to take some of our UYE students to a different church camp. How was that experience for you over at CCV?
It was amazing because it just is like how you said, and the group of boys that I have, I actually had the privilege of being with them ever since they were freshmen, and they went into their junior year. So I got to see how they went from being wild freshmen to juniors saying, I want to serve at church. I want to, they got baptized last year. We got to baptize them all, but now they're stepping into the next role and that next phase of life of, I want to go ahead and serve. But also there's, we're going to also start meeting weekly, or bi-weekly, where the boys are going to come together and we're going to actually go through a journal that UYE has created, and we're going to go through this journal with all of these boys to learn how to not just be discipled, but to become disciples, to disciple other kids, to be able to come and bring other kids to the Lord. So through camp, we've had this experience where we've went to camp each year, and they've grown every single year in their faith, in their walk, and in their confidence in being with the Lord and being able to share Him. So, yeah, camp was amazing. I mean, I get to go to like several camps, but that one in particular, being able to see those boys that are connected to UYE and to the church grow in their faith and being young men of God.
Great. Thank you for sharing, Anthony. As we kind of briefly talk about camps, one of the things that's absolutely crucial to our vision as an organization is that we are community collaborators. We take collaboration real serious. In the Bible, in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, Paul, one of the leaders of the New Testament, says we are co-laborers with God. It's kind of strange to say we're co-workers with God. It's like, wait, he's our boss and our leader and our king, but our co-worker? Well, that's just how gracious God is. He wants to actually partner with us. So we love to model that kind of collaborative spirit with the people we serve with. So one organization that we partner with over the summer offers a summer program for junior high school and high school students here in the city, here in the Valley, where they do games. They provide lunches for a lot of our low-income students who need some of these lunches over the summer. They provide physical activity, all the kind of things you would imagine a junior high school and a high school student needs, they provide. So we partner with them. We come in, We serve alongside them. We provide spiritual impact. We provide emotional and physical impact. We lead activities. And over the summer, we've gotten a chance to serve with this organization in a summer program. And this is the sweetest part about this is the students that we're serving in this summer program are students that attend the high school campuses that we're already at. So this is where you see collaboration work in its best mode, where the stuff we're doing students over the summer, these are the same exact students Crystal and Anthony and I are going to see on these Phoenix Union High School District campuses throughout the school year. So Anthony and Crystal, all three of us got to serve. Can you guys think of any experiences, any moments at these summer programs where you were able to impact, to engage, and to serve alongside other people and serve our students well? Crystal, why don't you go first?
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that was, I want to say that was like my second week being with you all. And I mentioned before, not on this episode, that there's no way that you can't have the interaction with these kids without them having an impact on you. And so there were several littles, and then yet the high school students that I interacted with, and yeah, just had beautiful conversations about where they are, about their family, about their faith experiences, and did some TikToks, maybe
There you go. There it
That's a
is.
great connect.
TikTok.
that's always, and that's how you know if they invite you to do a TikTok,
Wow.
you're in there.
That's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that in my
So
notes. So I'll put that in my notes. Yeah.
get invited to a TikTok video.
Good.
But yeah, so it was a sweet experience serving in that capacity, and getting to know the students on that level was beautiful.
Yeah.
Great. Anthony, what are you thinking about summer program? How was it for this year with you? How did you get a chance to
Um,
impact some students?
with that time that I was that I got to kind of get into with the summer program and just the way that it's set up because it, you were starting with them at that early age and like you said earlier they transition from that summer program. We meet them when they're littles to
Mm.
then when they go into high school. So now you've already tapped in with them. You've already had the summertime with them. You've had those experiences with them to continue to grow your relationship. And so with me and with the summer program, I truly enjoyed it because it with being able to go and just they I brought a little prop with me. It's the thing it calls this you can't see it, but it
Yeah.
says all out Anthony, which is kind of cool because it with it it's a lot of the leaders got to wear those, you got to also create that personality within that, and to be able to connect with the kids with I got to be all out Anthony. So, I enjoyed the time to be able to experience that with them and to be able to then have kids that walked in and being like, that I got to see that were leaders in the summer program that we had poured into when they were the campers in the summer program.
Hmm.
So to see that transition from being led to leading. Now, it was a beautiful experience to see that, to see like, oh, you remember when you were? And they'd be like, yeah, I remember that kid is just like me when I was here, So I enjoyed those moments and definitely had a great time with the summer program.
Great. Great, great. I think for me, one experience, and I'll be brief here because I know we have so many other events to touch on, but one of the cool things is I was able to serve in gym. So I play basketball. So, it's nice to kind of show the kids some, basketball drills, dribbling drills, passing skills. And one of the high school students that I served throughout the school year at a local high school, he was there serving. And over the summer, especially all you parents, you know this for sure, is club season. Club basketball, club soccer, club softball. And this student played club basketball. And so we were able to kind of chat, how's club basketball looking? And it's in those little encounters where we're serving at an event where I'm teaching him, how to dribble and how to pass, that I'm able to sort of break down some of those barriers while we're dribbling, right? Imagine us in a gym, we're shooting. It's not like a very intentional or feel like a really an intimate moment where we're sitting down looking eye to eye. We're dribbling and shooting, and it's in that space I'm asking him about his family. I'm asking him about how God is moving in his life. I'm asking him about what it looks like for next year as he moves into senior year. Does he feel like he has all his ducks in order? And it's in that kind of a space that I'm really able to break down some of those walls. And we had some of those tough conversations. I said, hey, you got to tighten up in some of these areas. He has a girlfriend. The way you talk to her. I don't know everything. I don't know ins and outs. You got to get better about it. That's not how a man should speak to a woman. So we're able to have some of those sweet conversations. And I think that can give you, as our viewers, an idea of the way that this work functions. It's not your traditional sit down at a coffee shop and chat. It's in the messiness of life, in the trenches, in the ups and downs, that I think we're able to do our best work, and we're able to really shape our students. Another program that we're really able to serve alongside is South Mountain Community College, as a local community college that really hosts a really cool opportunity for graduating high school students. They can get summer credits over the summer, course credits over the summer by taking classes that South Mountains offers with partnering organizations. So Anthony, I, and Crystal were able to go and serve some of our very own high school students. In particular, Brian, who graduated, he joined this program. And we showed up to the program. We're able to provide snacks. We're able to provide encouragement. We're able to meet the professors, right? We're able to show our students, you have a support system. As I shared with you guys earlier when I talked about the student that came with me to summer camp, even though he wasn't in this program, he was an ASU student ready to go. He felt the pressure. I had a great grade point average, was a great student. He still felt overwhelmed, like, can I really do this? And so we're able to provide that presence for our high school students as they join this RISE program. Can you guys think of any encounters and any impacts you're able to have on some of our graduating seniors who are entering into college at this RISE program, and the way that you were able to influence, to encourage, and to call them forward into what God wants them to be?
You want to go, Crystal, or do you
Anthony,
want me
why
to
don't you
go?
go ahead and jump on that?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, this is a sweet summer for me. This is a sweet one for me. Um, Last year, my godson went through the RISE program, but this year, my son and my goddaughter are going through the RISE program. And to be able to see them interact with students from other campuses. I mean, I do get to see my son do that with the people at his school, but to be able to see how they're going to be as students in college, because that's a whole different ball game than in high school. And so to be able to see them being able to stay on top of the things that they need to stay on top of, to be able to see the interactions amongst all of the students that I've been pouring into, that we as UIE get to pour into, and then to see how them reacting with my son. So to me, this one's like Crystal states at times, that mama heart, the daddy
Mm-hmm.
heart, the
Oh,
father heart, the daddy heart of like, man, all these kids that I love and care about, I get to see them interact with each other. And then also the beautiful thing about it is, which I didn't mention, my wife leads it. So I'm like, it's a family thing. It's a family affair for me. And so with the RISE program, I truly, truly, truly enjoy the experience of just being in the presence of all those amazing young kids.
hmm.
Great, Crystal. What are you
Um,
thinking?
yeah, obviously, I don't have a lot of experience with the kids outside of that. But the one thing that did stick out, my daughter was a basketball manager at Maryville. She did that her senior year, and to see a lot of those students come in was beautiful just
Mhm.
to see. Yeah, they've been at the house before, and to see them going through this program was really refreshing, and just to see their interaction with you all, how you guys have made an impact. You can just tell by the way that they respond to you. I thought that was, yeah, amazing. So,
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. One thing I want to remind our viewers of, and we shared this on our last episode, was this, is that what we want to provide for our students is we want to be able to benefit them spiritually, and we want to encourage them civically. I state this because in these kind of spaces with RISE, students will have some support, whether it be from family, whether it be some faculty at South Mountain Community College. Students oftentimes don't have as much spiritual support. And when they do, that spiritual support isn't often in the messiness of their lives.
Mm.
So not only is there a lack of it, but often the one that does present itself, whether it be maybe some pastors or some friends, they're not usually in the trenches with the students. One of the reasons why UIE is unique in the work that we do, we're both committed to being in the trenches, being in the messiness, being in the dirt with our students, asking how we can serve them, but we're also pushing them to be stronger men and women of God. In many cases, introducing them to Jesus for the first time. In
Mm.
other cases, strengthening them, turning them into confident, convicted disciples of Jesus in the spaces that they show up in, whether that be in college or in the workforce. So I just want our viewers to understand the dynamic that we're trying to provide, the impact that we're making. It's civic and spiritual at the same time. So at this RISE program with some of our students, I can think of one gal who graduated, and she had all kind of baggage from her family life coming in. And one of the things I'm able to do with her is pray for her while we're at South Mountain Community College to ask God to give her wisdom and understanding, right? And it's these kind of little things, these little deposits that we make over time that combine the spiritual and the commitment to being civically excellent as well, that has the long-term impact of producing the kind of people that we want to meet in the world.
Yeah,
And again, we could go on and on about that. I
yeah,
think the last thing I want to touch on is, and man, there's a whole ton, but just one-on-ones. One of the primary commitments of Urban Youth Excel is to mentor and turn students into disciples, which just means people who are learners of Jesus, who live it out every day. One of our primary ways that we do that is we have students that we disciple throughout the whole school year, where we're regularly, monthly, in some cases weekly, calling them, taking them out to lunch, hanging out with them, reading the Bible with them, inviting them into the intimate places in our own lives. Anthony bringing his kids over to dinner when he's eating with him and his wife, and they're right, inviting them into those intimate spaces to show them this is what it looks like to take Jesus seriously in every area of your life. So, Anthony, is there any experiences you've had with any one-on-one hangout with students over the summer that I think could help our viewers understand what we want to do for students as we mentor and disciple them?
yeah. There's a young gentleman. His name is Justin that I was able to pour into, and like you said, having them come over to the house. And it was funny because Justin's like, I love to swim, but he don't have a pool. He's like, I have 800 people that live in my house, so I don't get kind of that free, relaxing time. But then I'm like, hey, how about we go? We hang out. You'll come over to my house. You'll hang out with my son. You'll hang out with my wife, and we'll go swimming. We'll get some food, and we'll just chill and relax. And with Justin, and he's on fire for the Lord. He's on fire for the Lord. But in those moments, even it's an intent to just sit there and hang out and just allow him to be able to escape anything that he's going through at the time. But then he gets to come over my house. He's escaping. He's getting to be relaxed. We get to see him have fun, enjoy, and laugh. But then also in that same breath, we get to then start speaking on the Lord and giving him. This is what I say a lot of times with kids. It's giving them another option. It's allowing them to make that choice of which way they want to go and allowing them to be able to see that, if you take this option, this is how the Lord can move in your life. And with Justin, it's that thing. Justin's like, man, I didn't know about this. I didn't know about that. But wow, look at that. How do you have a pool? I'm like, because with the Lord, he provides. It gives you an opportunity to not just speak words, but to be able to show them something tangible that they can even strive to achieve. So in those one-on-ones, especially with Justin, it allows us to show Jesus, be Jesus with skin.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. Crystal, I know you're, just getting in, building these relationships. But even if you were to speak as a mother, right, who's a discipler of your own daughter, what does that even look like for you? How do you sort of impact your daughter in that way? And then how do you imagine you taking those same skills you've been building for decades with your children and sort of using them for some of our future one-on-ones with the gals you'll be hanging with?
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned before, Kyra going off to Howard, obviously that is like I'm trying to. I was telling one of our partners, I feel like I'm trying to get download everything I can at this point in in her journey. And so taking every single opportunity to just to chat, to hear her, to hear the fears that are rising up, to hear the pain that she's experiencing with just you know a fractured relationship that she has with her father. It's just every moment, every aspect, just being there for her and listening as a mom. I mean, if I can't do it for my own daughter, then I can't do it for anybody else. So yeah, it's just been sweet just having these moments of care.
Yeah.
Great. Great, thank you for that. As we get ready to end our broadcast for today, I'm going to briefly mention a one-on-one I had, and then I want to put an ask before our viewers. So to mention one-on-one I had over the summer is with a student named Juan, who also is a graduate from Maryvale High School. He's getting ready to join the military. And throughout the summer, he's a basketball player, so we'll go to a local gym, we'll work out, and then we usually go to a Panda Express or something in the area. And one of the things we were really wrestling with, and this is what he kept telling me, is like, is the military really the thing I'm called to? And so we prayed and we read the Bible and we chatted and I mentioned my own experiences. And now he's more open. Now I'm trying to push him to say, hey, why don't you maybe take a semester and go to a community college or at least go to an advisor? I know some folks at South Mountain and other community colleges that can kind of put some potential career options before you. And I think, again, for our viewers to understand the uniqueness of this is when we put the options before my student Juan, we're praying over these options. We're asking, what would God say over these options? How would Jesus encourage you to consider these options? Again, reinforcing the fact that we want to build our students up civically. We want to encourage them in their walk with Jesus. And we want all that to combine to produce students that are faithful participants of society. So as we close today, we have a huge camp coming up at the end of July. It's with one of our huge partners named Young Life, where we bring a ton of the students we've been pouring into that we just mentioned, graduating on high school campuses, and we take them off to a camp to get away from Phoenix for 5 days and check this without their phones. They almost have an
Mm.
emotional breakdown being without their phones, but it's great. So I'll put this before the viewers to pray, to ask for God's help for us, to give us energy, and to keep the students' hearts open as God works in their lives. So thank you guys again. Appreciate you as our viewers. And until our next broadcast, have a good one.